You don't have to do that.
I have to.
Hi, your highest.
What are you doing in here?
Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-JAY, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Tyler Perry's Ruthless, episode 8, season 4 recap. And yeah, it's about to turn up crazy. They about to rob the Raku. Your boy Dikhan is messing with River. And yeah, the highest is about to turn up. Don't forget to check out all my episode recaps. Let's break this down. So the name of this episode is Eye for an Eye, and it reads, the highest offers Malcolm relief from his withdrawal symptoms. River warns Manny to stay away from Zane. Mac defends Andrew's actions, and Marva reveals her horrifying plan for Lacey. All right, fam, so where do we leave off? We left off where, Elder Mother Marva sees a cup of water, and she's questioning Lacey as to where that water came from. Of course, Lacey's like, yeah, you left it. You know, you didn't remember. And of course, Elder Mother Marva is mad. She's mad that Lacey's trying to make it seem like she's losing her mind and like she doesn't know what she's talking about, and that she never leaves any drinks in there and all of this and that. And of course, Lacey is not trying to reveal that, yes, Zane was in there bringing her water or anything else like that. So Marva, again, is getting mad at her and saying, oh, you think I'm old? You think I'm losing my mind? You know, you're trying to play me? And she's like, no, Elder Mother, no. I'm just saying, who else would have it? And she slaps her and says, I'm not going crazy, but, you know, I'm going to find out who did that, who left it here. So Lacey is laying there with her red robe, waiting on her fate. Meanwhile, back at the sheriff's office, we have Desiree, and they're going through paperwork, and they're talking about everything, and talking about, you know, Andrew, and talking about, you know, everything that they're finding out as far as what's going on with the Raku. They don't look happy at all, right? So one of the agents comes up and says, you won't believe this. There was a fire at Brian's house, and 2 bodies were found. And yeah, they're trying to find out who the bodies are and everything else like that. Yes, we see that Andrew actually went through with the plan, and they're trying to find out who it was and who's in there and everything else like that. And they're really kind of like, yo, this is kind of crazy. And they were talking about Andrew ditching the car. So here we go. Your girl Ruth is frustrated with Elder Mother Marva because Elder Mother Marva is supposed to be making this food for Laura after the ritual. And she's like, yeah, you know, I got to find out where she is. And Laura's so high, she's like, you know what? I can make breakfast. And of course, Ruth is like, no, you don't know how to make it. I'm going to find Elder Mother Marva. Like, this girl is so high out of her mind. She don't know where she is. Talking about, yeah, she going to make food and all of this and that, right? Again, she's coming down off that high, but she needs more food to maintain that whole happiness and that whole highness so that she can just comply with whatever they want her to do. Here we go with Ruth, and she's like, does anyone know when Elder Mother Marva is? So she's going out trying to find Elder Mother Marva to cook the food for Laura. Your boy Aaron is sitting there, and he watches Ruth walk by. Of course, he sees she's coming out of the kitchen, and he knows Laura's in there. So here we go with the highest. He's going into the electric chair punishment room, and who's in there? Your boy, that's right, Malcolm is in there. And yeah, he's going in there to talk to him. And the highest is very courteous. He's rolling up on everybody in the punishment room talking about, how you doing? But you know he has mind games. And of course, Malcolm is like, you know, I'm all right. He's like, you sure? And he knows why he's in there. The highest is in there to test out this new batch to make sure it's good and that it doesn't unalive the highest when he uses it. So he pulls out the magic. He's like, this is what you need, right? This is what you need. But the highest, he is very sensitive to smells. And yeah, it looks like Malcolm went all over himself, and he's not feeling how it's smelling up in there. You know, but Malcolm's like, yo, just give it to me. I just need it right now. He's suffering from withdrawal. He is having shakes and everything else like that. And the highest knows it. He's messing around with him, and he's seeing how much he wants it. But yeah, Malcolm is bugging out. Look at his eyes. He's looking evil. He really needs his magic. So the highest says, you know what? We're not going to do this now. I'm going to have the ladies clean you up. And then after that, we'll give you some. He's like, no, you could do it now. Give it to me now. And then, he's like, nope. So the highest goes out. He tells Lewis, hey, go get some ladies and have her clean this guy up in the electric punishment trailer because it's stinking up in there. Of course, Lewis runs off to go get the girls to clean up Malcolm. So now, yeah, the highest is making his rounds, and he goes to the other punishment trailer, and who's there? George is there, and he's saying, I'm really impressed that you stood up for, Dikhan and everything else like that. He's like, yes, highest, I worship you and I love you and all of this and that. He's like, listen, do you love Dikhan? He's like, yeah, I love Dikhan. He's like, but who are you loyal to? He's like, well, I'm loyal to you, your highest. He's like, my parents taught me to, definitely follow authority and all of this and that. He's like, really? Okay, that sounds good. You know what? Take off your shirt, take off your clothes, and turn around. So he has him take off his shirt. He turns around, and your boy, the highest, starts to whip on George with that chain. And what I'm impressed with is that, yeah, your boy George is not flinching. He's holding it down like a real G. And your boy is hitting him with them chains, and slices are coming onto his back and everything else like that. And George is standing his ground. You know what I'm saying? He's like, turn around, He says, I'm impressed by you. I can't break you. And he says, I'm already broken for you, already broken for the Raku. So, the highest is like, all right, you're an upstanding soldier and all this and that. He's like, I love you, your highest. I'll do anything for you. I'll die for you, right? So we see, George, you're a strong dude, like, for real. But again, he has ulterior motives. So he's like, all right, he's leaving. He's like, yo, the highest is a crazy mother, right? So here we go back at the highest's trailer. And your boy Dikhan is talking to River. River's asking him questions like, yeah, how does your cell phone work up here? Nobody's cell phone works up here. He's like, you're still talking to me. So you know what? I'm going to take this $100 bill and make you disappear. He says, how? He says, I'm going to tell the highest that we were short $100 and blame it on you. I have a replacement for you. Aaron is going to be your replacement. And River's like, no, there's no replacing me. There's no replacing me and all of this and that. And he's like, yeah, there is. I'm going to make Aaron become your replacement and you're out of here. So now Mac finally comes to the sheriff's office and he brings some information. He brings emails of Brian and Lynn and everything else like that. Come to find out through the emails that, yeah, Brian was upset because Malcolm was messing around with Lynn. And they said they was going to kill each other, kill themselves, whatever the case is. But they're just like, oh, that's very convenient that there's a fire. And now we see these emails. So, Desiree's really questioning everything. She's also questioning what happened with Andrew and why he attacked the deputy. And your boy Mac actually defends Andrew and says, well, he didn't hurt her and all this and that. And they're like, yo, when was the last time you got in contact with him? Oh, a couple of weeks ago. Haven't heard from him since. So, Mac is just like, yo, Andrew's okay. He didn't flip. He should be fine, but we don't really know. So they're like, listen, Mac, you better get a hotel because we're going to be out of here. We're not leaving anytime soon. So the ladies, they clean up Malcolm, right? And the highest is like, smells much better in there. Smells much better in there, And your boy Malcolm, he's the only prisoner that I know that has been strapped up, cleaned up, and everything else like that. But of course, it's all for the highest to test out his new magic. So, if Malcolm dies, basically, we know that batch is a bad batch. So the highest is about to get this batch together, a batch of magic stuff. And your boy Malcolm's like, listen, don't give me all of that, man. Don't give me all of that. Like, it's a lot. And, the highest makes a point. He's like, listen, look at your situation. You're concerned more about how much I give you and you passing away from this, as opposed to you sitting in an electric chair. Like, are you serious right now? Like, look at where you are, right? But of course, he's suffering from withdrawal and everything else like that. So The highest gives him the magic. And Malcolm's like, you can untie me now. Can you untie me now? I won't hurt anybody. And he's drifting, and he's gone. The highest is snapping his fingers. And he says, you know what? If you survive this, then I know that I have a good batch. And you know what? I believe that he is going to survive it. Because Malcolm definitely, he been doing a lot. So here we are. We got Lewis and George. And they are talking about what happened in that punishment trailer. George is like, yo, my back is killing me right now. Yo, he whipped me with some chains and all of this and that. But let's get down to it. These guys are here. They're talking about the money, how much money the campus has and the highest has. And they're trying to come up with a plan. They can't rely on Manny because he's unreliable. He believes in the Raku and all this and that. He wants to get enlightened and all this and that. So George is like, listen, this is how we going to get into the highest's trailer. You going to mess around with him, do some freaky stuff. And he's like, nah, that's not a good plan. It's like, yo, we need to get River. Yeah, River's kind of doing some weird stuff. So what they say is that they need 2 men at the gate, 2 men to go in and rob them, and 1 guy to go in there and mess around and tie up the highest. So George is going to try to talk to Manny to see if he's going to go and get enlightened because, he's been asking about that. And really it's a plan to really tie up the highest, get the money, and get out of there. Crazy, right? So here we are, still counting the money. And yeah, your boy River's like, we're counting it to the T. Everything looks good. It's all counted. And Dikhan's like, really? And he pulls out that $100 bill. And River's like, yo, come on, man. Seriously, you gonna do this to me like that? He's like, listen, I'm gonna make you disappear, man. Stop talking to me, and I want you to go, and I want you to leave. He's like, you're not gonna take any money, are you? And your boy Dikhan is like, I don't know, So he's really taunting River. He wants to get rid of River, get him out of there. And yeah, what do you guys think? Drop your comments below. If he tells the highest that River took $100 and they were $100 short, do you think the highest is going to go crazy and get rid of him, right? So River leaves, and your boy Manny rolls up on River. He's like, hey, yeah, man, I need to talk to you. He's like, yo, I'm here. What do you want? He's like, listen, man, I heard about this enlightenment. What is it? Of course, River's beating around the bush and all this and that, not really trying to tell him, says, ask the highest. He's like, listen, I just want to make things right. I want Zane, and I want to marry her. The Raku wants me to marry her, but I want to be enlightened first. And River's like, you're so pretty, but you're so stupid. Like you don't know what it is. Like, yes, the highest has to pass through you in order to have the babies, for him to have his babies. So, yes, you have to be butt plugged in order for that to happen. So Manny's like, for real? So it is true. He's like, well, he's like, I got to make it right with Zane. He's like, well, you didn't doing what you did to her. The highest won't be pleased. He's like, you're not going to tell him, right? He's like, no, you're not going to tell him. You know why? Because you told me about being enlightened. So I know you're not going to tell him. So he's like, listen, stay away from Zane. So River rolls up on Zane, and she's happy. Why? Because she's like, hey, listen, I saw Lacey. Lacey's alive. And of course, River's like, how's she doing? How's she doing? And she's excited, but she's telling River she wants Lacey to be part of the escape plan and get her out of there too. River's like, she doesn't move as fast as we do and all this and that. He's trying to make an excuse, but Zane is like, no. We got to get her out of here, because she's very happy to see Lacey and everything, and she wants Lacey to survive. So River, of course, is like, okay. He's just going along with it and everything else like that, right? So Manny comes like he's going into the trailer. Now, it looks like the finance trailer. Is it? You guys let me know. Zane is all nervous, like, I don't want him near me. I want him to stay away from me. And she gets all like frantic and stuff, which is understandable. But he's going in the trailer. And River's like, listen, I assure you he will never mess with you again. Don't even worry about it, right? So they run off. Here comes to Elder Mother Marva. And she's just sitting there next to the punishment trailer. She's like, Elder Mother, what are you doing? Laura needs her food. What's going on? Oh, I know, I'm timing it. She's like, listen, there's a certain amount of time that you have to give her food so she stays, happy and all this and that. She's like, I know, I'm watching the clock. I'm just waiting for the highest because I want to talk to him. about some important things, right? She's like, really? Really? You're really going to do this? She's like, just go away. Get away from me. And she's like, you know what? Being that you're being like that, I'm going to wait along with you because I need to talk to the highest too. She's like, can you just get away? And Rufus was like, you're such a little child. She's like, well, you are a child. And Rufus was like, see what I'm saying? See how you're acting? Right? And she's like, just get away. Why don't you go somewhere, They going back and forth. I'm going to tell the highest. So the highest comes out. And he's like, tell me what? What do you want to tell me? Oh, the highest. She changes into a whole different person. Oh, highest, it's good to see you and all this and that. Right. She's like, what do you want to tell me? Well, it's important, and I want to talk to you privately. And she looks at Ruth and he's like, Ruth, what would you like? He said, well, Elder Mother Marva hasn't fixed Laura's food yet. And he's like, really? And he's like, why didn't you fix her food? Well, I wanted to talk to you first. He's like, listen, you have to fix the food every 3 hours in order for her to stay happy and stay on the magic and everything else. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Highness. Yes, I'm going to make it immediate, but I need to talk to you about some private matters. So, Ruth is standing there like, you going to make the food or what? The highest is like, listen, she's going to make the food. Don't worry about it. It's okay, right? It's okay. Don't worry about it. So the highest is like, listen, I don't got time for this. I'm making my rounds. What do you want? And of course, look at Elder Mother Marva's face like, see, you can go now, mother freaker. So he's like, what do you want? He's like, well, I want to tell you, highest, that, the deserter, Lacey, she's still alive. And he's like, well, I want her to be unalived. And she's like, well, I have a better plan. I would like to have her life and then she can give you babies. I want to give you babies, but, I can't do that no more. So we want to give you 7 babies. He's like, really? 7 babies? Really? It's like, yeah, you could have all the men come in and plant their seed in her. And then for the next several years, she can have your babies the way I could do it. She could be my womb. He's like, listen, are you sure about this? Because if she gets out of line, he's like, no, she will not get out of line. No, if she does get out of line, I will give her my sword to unalive you, to take you out. And Elder Mother Marva's like, no, I don't know. He's like, nah, that's the deal. That's the deal you just made. I hope it was worth it, right? So Elder Mother Marva was not expecting that one as far as like, hey, if she gets out of line, he's going to let Lacey take out Elder Mother Marva because he's sick and tired of Elder Mother Marva messing up. He's sick and tired of that deserter. He's sick and tired of people just betraying him. So she doesn't look too happy about that deal. So here we go. Aaron, he goes to the back door of the kitchen. Laura's sitting there, right? He walks in the door. He sees that she's just sitting there. He's like, are you okay? She's like, yes, I'm fine. He's like, listen, we got to go. We got to get out of here. I'm going to get you out of here. And she's like, no, I have to eat. And all this and that. Yes, I have to make the food. I have to eat the food. And she, again, as high as a kite. He's like, listen, we got to get you out of here. I'm going to do what I got to do to get you out of here. He's trying to just wake up. He's like, Laura, look at me. Look at me. And she is just totally tripping right now. She's like, hi, Your Highest. And what? Aaron turns around. Who's in the kitchen? The highest is in the kitchen like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, shoot. All the suspense music comes up, and he's trying to come up with an excuse. And yeah, the highest is about to turn up on your boy Aaron. What's going to happen next? We shall see on the next episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless. Family, it's always a pleasure doing this. Listen, we got a couple of episodes left. Definitely make sure you check out all my episode recaps if you missed them. And absolutely, I appreciate you all for watching. Listen, if you're family for the first time, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And absolutely, we're going to keep this thing going. Make sure you check out our live Ruthless Roundtable recap, review, and reactions. We have a whole lot of fun, family, and absolutely, we also play trivia as well. So definitely check us out every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we recap, review, give our predictions for the next episode. All right, family, I appreciate you all for watching. And until next time, salute.